Name is Shanti, and today I'll be discussing the social justice issue of media and beauty standards through the feminist perspective. Beauty standards are ideas about what society considers attractive, and they are shaped by culture and reinforced through different forms of media. In this presentation, I'll explain how these standards affect people differently based off of race, ethnicity, social class, sex, gender identity, and sexual orientation, and why it is an important sociological issue. This is just my table of contents. I don't know how to move this, but it's my table. So, what are beauty standards? Beauty standards are not just something that us as people are born believing in. According to sociology, they are socially constructed, meaning society creates and changes these ideas that we have over time. We learn these expectations through socialization, which is the process of learning our culture's norms and values. One of the biggest agents of socialization is the mass media, including magazines, television, advertisement, and social media. Even though we don't read magazines, we watch TV, um, and social media is the biggest one right now. These platforms consistently show us what is considered quote unquote attractive, and it can influence how we view ourselves and how we view others. Now, let's get into talking about why this might be a social justice issue. Media and beauty standards do not affect everyone equally. People who do not fit into the idea of beauty may experience a wide variety, a wide scale of things from discrimination to lower self esteem or just feeling excluded altogether. Unrealistic beauty standards can also contribute to a person's anxiety, body dissatisfaction, um, and eating disorders. From a sociological perspective, this shows how society can create inequalities and affect people's everyday lives and their mental health altogether. Now we can jump right into intersectionality and how race, ethnicity, social class, sex, gender identity, and sexual orientation, how beauty standards in the media play a role in all of these categories. So race has a major influence on beauty standards. For many years, the media has promoted more Eurocentric features like lighter skin, straight hair as the ideal beauty standard or the type. So this contributes to colorism, where people with lighter skin are often viewed more positively than those with a darker skin complexion. Ethnicity. Ethnicity also affects beauty standards because some cultural features are celebrated while others are ignored or stereotyped. So this can make people feel pressured to jump into what is the norm instead of embracing their appearance and embracing their natural cultural identity. Social class influences beauty standards because many like companies, beauty products, treatments, and fashionable clothing are expensive. The ones that are the people who are showcasing these major brands and making everybody want to buy, consumer consumption, all of that, they're often getting more attention than those who are in a lower social class because they might not have those items that these people are promoting on social media. So that plays a role. Beauty standards and sex affect both men and women, but women often experience a greater pressure to be looked upon a certain way. And society tends to place them in a more valuable spot on appearance. And it's creating unrealistic expectations. And I feel like the unrealistic expectations come from both men and women. I feel like, you know what, I'm not even going to go into detail about that. But I do want to say that the beauty standards on women and the pressure on women when it comes to beauty standards are influenced by both men and women. Gender identity. People who are transgender or non binary may face additional challenges because they do not always fit into traditional ideas of what femininity looks like or what masculinity looks like. And the limited representation in the media is making them feel excluded. It can make them feel excluded because they don't have much representation. They're not as comfortable as representing themselves. Okay. Now, sexual orientation. People in the LGBTQ plus community may also feel pressure to fit a certain appearance and stereotypes. So these expectations can come from both mainstream society and sometimes within their own communities. If you don't fit a certain stereotype, you can be looked upon differently. So looking at all these identities together shows that beauty standards can affect everyone differently, and it does affect everyone differently. Society help not society. So sociology helps us understand that our experience are shaped by multiple parts of identity, making this an important issue of social justice. The feminist perspective is just arguing that society places more pressure on women than they do men, and how they want women to fit into a very unequal and unrealistic beauty standard and multiple beauty standards that are unrealistic and unequal. Media becomes a social institution that reinforces traditional gender roles. And a lot of beauty industries, well, the beauty industry in general profits off of women and are convincing women that they constantly need to improve their appearance or make a change or adjust their appearance to the social eye. These expectations contribute to gender inequality because women are often and are judged more heavily on appearance than their abilities. So, this slide is about the relationship between the individual and society. On the individual level, unrealistic beauty standards can affect the person's confidence, mental health, and self image. And on a societal level, the media and beauty industries continue to promote these standards because they are profitable and they're widely accepted. This just shows how personal experience are often influenced by larger social forces. So, guys, although beauty standards have existed for many years, I feel like they can change. And I feel like this can be done through greater representation of different body types, ages, different races, and gender identity to make social media more inclusive. And I feel like seeing some things in 2026, um, the media is working towards that, but there are a lot of areas to touch on so everybody gets the message. So, in conclusion, media and beauty standards are much more than a personal opinion about appearance. Sociology shows that they are more shaped by culture and learned through socialization than a personal opinion and something that you're believing in at birth, and that it is widely reinforced by the media. So, through the feminist perspective, we can see how these standards contribute to inequality and affect different groups in very different ways. And by understanding these issues, we can work towards society where we're all inclusive, where we're valued by who we are, what we look like, what we like, and instead of how closely they fit unrealistic beauty ideals. It's very unrealistic. And I just want to thank everyone for watching and listening to my presentation. And I hope you all enjoy.